Hello students. Today I'm going to discuss about the concept of elasticity of demand. In today's module, I will discuss about the concept, the types of elasticity of demand, the methods of measuring elasticity, and the determinants of elasticity of demand. In our previous module, we discussed about the law of demand. The law of demand gives only the direction of change in quantity demand in response to its price. But to know the magnitude of such change, we need to understand the concept of elasticity of demand. The elasticity of demand measures the degree of responsiveness of the quantity demanded of a commodity to a given change in any of the determinants of demand. It can be the price of the product, the price of the related goods, or the income of the consumer. So, here we have the three types of elasticity of demand: price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, and cross elasticity of demand. So let's start with the first type of elasticity of demand, that is price elasticity of demand. The price elasticity of demand refers to the responsiveness of demand for a product to the changes in its price. And here that can be measured by the proportionate change in quantity demanded due to the proportionate change in price. Now there are different types or degrees of price elasticity. The price elasticity of demand can be perfectly elastic demand, perfectly inelastic demand, unitary elastic demand, relatively elastic, or relatively inelastic demand. The perfectly elastic demand is the extreme range of elasticity. Here, an unlimited quantity of the commodity can be sold even with the slightest change in its price. Here the elasticity is equal to infinity, and we have a horizontal demand curve. The next is perfectly inelastic demand. Here, this is another extreme. Even with a change in the price, there is no change in quantity demand. So, we have a vertical demand curve. The elasticity equal to 0. The next is unitary elastic demand. When a proportionate change in price brings out an equal proportionate change in quantity demanded, then the commodity is having unitary elastic. Elasticity equal to 1. Next is relatively inelastic demand. In this case, in case of relatively elastic demand, a slight change in price results in a greater change in quantity demand. Elasticity greater than 1. In case of relatively inelastic demand, a higher change in price leads to a small change in quantity demand. Here the demand curve is more steeper and elasticity is less than 1. Now the next type of elasticity is income elasticity of demand. It is the degree of responsiveness of change in demand for a product due to the change in the income of the consumer. The income elasticity can be measured by the percentage change in the demand for a product due to the percentage change in income. The next is cross elasticity of demand. The cross elasticity of demand refers to the change in quantity demand for one commodity as a result of the change in the price of another commodity. And in case of interrelated goods such as substitutes and complementary goods, we have cross elasticity of demand. The cross elasticity can be measured by the proportionate change in the quantity demand of commodity X due to the proportionate change in the price of commodity Y. Now there are different methods of measuring elasticity of demand. But we will focus on three important methods: the percentage method, the total outlay method, and the point method or the geometric method. The percentage method is where we find out the percentage change in the quantity demand of a commodity due to a given percentage change in its price. The second method, that is the total outlay method, where the elasticity of demand for a commodity can be measured with the help of the total expenditure incurred by a household on the purchase of a commodity. The third method, that is the point method, where by this method we can measure the elasticity at a particular point on the demand curve. Now there are various determinants on which the elasticity of demand depends. That means there are many factors which affect the elasticity of a product, like the nature of the commodity. In case of luxurious goods, it is more price elastic, and in case of necessities, it is price inelastic. Another can be the availability of substitute goods. A product will have elastic demand if there are good substitutes available for it. Another determinant can be the proportion of income spent. If the consumer spends a small proportion of his income on a commodity at a time, then the demand for that commodity is less elastic. The different uses of the commodity can also be another determinant, like the demand for a commodity having variety of uses is more elastic. Similarly, the product are jointly demanded, then if one product is having elastic demand, then the other product will also have the same elasticity. So here, in this module, we understand about the different concepts of elasticity of demand. Thank you for watching this.